Yes.
Can you walk us through the decision to claim Ruben?
Yes, he was waived by San Francisco, and we decided to claim him. And now he is on the commissioner's exempt list, and we got to go through the process of the investigation the NFL does, as do we, and we'll go from there.
He obviously, with the legal situation he has, nobody else claimed him. Why did you feel the need to do it now? Why not just let it play out and then make a decision at that time?
That's a good question. We probably could have done that, but we saw an opportunity there to claim him, and we chose to do that as an organization.
The statement said that you guys talked to his Alabama teammates and stuff. Was any attempt to reach out to the victim made?
The victim?
Yeah.
No, not by myself. No, like I said, right now, when he hit the waiver wire, we decided to claim him. We understand that there's a lot of things that he's gone through, and there's some issues there. But we're going to let the NFL take their time and do the right thing with the investigation, as are we. And then we'll go from there, like I said.
Did anyone in the organization try and reach out to her?
No, I don't know how we would do that.
So then, I guess, why did you feel confident based on what, the Alabama guys?
It's not a matter of feeling confident. We're going to let it play out. We're just going to let it play out.
Who was involved in those discussions to bring him in, and were there any dissenting voices?
Not really. I think there's some concern without a doubt. You understand that what's going on there, but at the end of the day, we decided to pick up his rights, and right now it's not even our rights. He's on the commissioner's exempt list, so really he can just come in here on an occasional basis. I met him today for the first time, and since the combine and his pro day and all that stuff. So we'll just let it play out, like I said.
What was that discussion between you and him? And obviously you guys had met in the past, I know.
Yeah, I'll keep it between myself and Ruben. It was very brief. We have a game to get ready for, Philadelphia, and he's got a lot of work to do before he even thinks about anything as far as being with the Redskins. So like I said, he's got the NFL to deal with. He's got the law enforcement to deal with. He's got us to deal with. We hold our standards very high also. We just want to get to the bottom of what happened, and that's it.
Coach, so he's on the commissioner's exempt list. As you said, he can't play or practice, and he's here today. So what is he involved with today? What is he doing?
Today just got a physical today. Met some of the guys, and that's it.
Jay, in terms of the team, how does an investigation like that work? Who is running it, and how do you?
Yeah, we have our own people there involved, and we're going to do our work, as is the NFL. They're first, the law enforcement in Tampa, California. They'll do their work, and we'll get to the bottom of exactly what happened.
How much is the team's investigation in conjunction with the NFL versus two independent investigations?
I don't know about all that. I was game planning for Philadelphia when we claimed them, so I don't know what investigation process we have right now, but I'm sure we'll get it done.
Jay, do you view this more as a move for next year and the future if he's able to play, but you're not seeing him as being able to play this year, or are you?
I don't know. I'm not even going to think about it. We're going to think about the guys that are on our active roster right now. We're coaching those guys up, and then what happens with Ruben happens with Ruben. I anticipate it'll be a while before anything happens as far as him be able to dress for a game or to get active on our roster. So, right now it's just about coaching our guys up and getting ready for the Eagles.
Did you worry at all about the fact that, this has probably been a topic of conversation, that it could be a distraction given where you're fighting for playoffs and everything?
Yeah, I don't think it's, this is the only time I talk about it, is right here for 10 minutes in this room. Right now we're spending a great practice time and walkthroughs and practice, and we'll have meetings now, get ready for tomorrow's practice, third down, red zone. We still have a lot of work to do. So after this, it's not a topic.
Just one other, is it? Do you have any kind of say in this, or ultimately is this something that comes from above?
It's a team decision. I think we all had our hand in it, and we accept, obviously, the questions, and but we want to let the process play out and see what happens and get to the bottom of it. And there's no guarantee he's ever going to play here, to be honest with you. He's got a lot of work to do, personally, with the team, with the NFL, with himself, before he even thinks about playing football again.
Jay, of course you just said it comes down to when you guys get down to the bottom of it. So if you guys get down to the bottom of it and he's not vindicated, or there is some confirmation of the accusations, then what does the team's move from there?
Yeah, we'll decide that when we get all the information.
I think there's a report that another team looked into what the incident was, calling. Did you guys reach out to the police at all in Tampa to see what it was when you first heard about it before claiming him?
A little bit, but we also understand that claiming him and figuring that commissioner put him on the exempt list, we'd have some time to get the work done. We'll get the work. We'll get to the bottom of it, really.
Jay, in addition to talking to the players from Alabama, did you reach out to any of the team leaders to kind of get a feel for what a move like this would mean to the locker room? And did you express anything with the players today when they reported for practice?
No. I think the players are all honed in on what they're up against Philadelphia. We understand what type of team they have. They're defending Super Bowl champions, playing on Monday Night Football, and this is no distraction whatsoever to these guys. I know we have 5 or 6 guys on our team that know him personally and very good friends with him, but also understand what he did is very wrong and it's a problem, and we have to get to the bottom of what happened exactly. So other than that, there's no distraction for anybody.
Jay, was there concern about the public reaction, the fan reaction, considering the nature of the accusations?
A little bit, yeah. I'm sure there was from Bruce and Dan and obviously Doug. So, but at the end of the day, we decided to make the move, and we'll deal with the outcry, so to speak. But for the most part, this is a young athlete, a young person who got himself into some trouble, and we want to find out exactly what happened.
How much do you rely, for a situation like this, go back to the pre-draft work that maybe you did on him and meeting the people down there and talking to them?
A lot, really, a lot. I spent a lot of time with, with Coach Saban, Ruben, obviously the same year Jonathan Allen came out, Ryan Anderson came out. We had a lot of players there we spent a lot of time with, and he was one of them. And at that time, he was one of my favorite players in the draft defensively as a player, and one of my favorite interviews as a person. What's happened since then, I don't know really a lot about what's happened. I just have read a little bit about what's happened, and it's not good. But we will get to the bottom of it at the end of the day. And like I said, there's no guarantee he's ever going to step foot on a football field here, but we would like to find out more about what happened.
You guys have also given second chances to some others. When there was some controversy when you signed Junior Glett a few years ago. Is there what goes into deciding what guy maybe deserves that sort of chance or opportunity?
Well, I think a lot depends on it, and we don't know if he's going to get a second chance. Quite frankly, we don't know. There has to be a lot of recovery. He's got to go through the process with the league, with the police. Individually, he's going to have to get some help and counseling, obviously, and this is all before the league gets done with him. So we understand that it's going to be a long process for him, but he's a young player. He made a mistake or two, and at the end of the day, we decided to take the chance and deal with it.
Coach, Doug Williams' statement last night said, "Nothing is promised to Ruben, but we're hopeful being around so many of his former teammates and friends will eventually provide him with the best possible environment to succeed both personally and professionally." So if he doesn't end up succeeding personally within this atmosphere, this environment here, then what has the Redskins gotten out of that?
Nothing.
So do you believe it's really just a football move as far as taking a chance on a guy?
Yeah, a person, a human being, yes.
Would it have been any different if you didn't have 5 of his former Alabama defensive teammates in the locker room with you?
I don't know. It just depends on the whole situation. Right now, we're looking at Ruben based on what we knew about him pre-draft, and the football side of it obviously is very, very good. Obviously, the personal side of it, the off-the-field issues, is something that we're concerned with, and we have to get to the bottom of. Like I said, like Doug said, there's no guarantee. He's got a lot of work to do to prove that he can function in society, and B, that he can function as a Redskin, as does every one of our players and coaches. We all have to live up to very high standards to be Washington Redskins, and he's no different.
All right, we'll take one more Ruben Foster, all right? Let's move on. Jay, all of the things that you said that the team needs to do to find out about Ruben and the things that have happened to him could have been done without you claiming him off of waivers. You could have done all of those things. So what was the rush is not the word. Why claim him off waivers when you could have done all of that stuff?
Well, we didn't know who was going to claim him or not claim him. That's kind of the way the waiver wire works. You put the claim in, and somebody claims him in front of you. You don't get him. So.
All right. Does anyone have anything about practice or the Philadelphia game?
I have one more about Foster.
No more Foster. We're done with Foster. This
We saw Jameson out there just quote about, or just what are the injuries, basically? Yep.
Jameson did a little bit today, which was good. Matt Inias didn't practice with his calf, shin. Trey Quinn did not practice, a little sore on his ankle still. Morgan Moses did not practice his Achilles and ankle. Zach Brown did not practice, knee, shin area. Dunbar did not practice, same injury. That's all I can remember. I forgot my sheet.
Jay, you guys are still in first place. The last couple weeks, so you've lost your starting quarterback. We just spent a few minutes talking about a guy who you just added. Does the atmosphere feel like you guys are still in first place? Does it feel different a couple weeks ago when you had a 2-game lead and things were looking a little bit better? Does it feel like a team that should be feeling good about itself?
Like anytime you lose a couple games in a row, you lose a little bit of the luster of being in first place or what have you, but I think it's our job to make sure we gain the confidence back and the swagger back somehow, some way, and we're going to start out by doing it by having a good practice on Monday, which we did, and today, which we did. So the big thing is getting our offense comfortable around Colt, getting our offensive guards comfortable playing with each other, getting Trent back out there in action, eventually hopefully getting Morgan back out there in action offensively, and then defensively, getting HaHa another week of communication with the safeties, and then getting our linebackers situated, and going from there. But if we can play together as a good football team, be sound fundamentally, play physical football, that's how we won games, then we'll be okay.
Jay, obviously he's been here for a while, but with Colt, how much of a difference will having a full week and I guess a couple of extra practices make compared to what you guys had to deal with last week, in your opinion? Because a lot of people think it will make a big difference.
I think it does make a difference. I've said it before that repetition is king, and he doesn't get any reps. It's a lot different when you're just looking at a card. Okay, throw to the dot. Okay, set hike and throw it to the dot. Then when you're calling the plays, making a protection adjustment, seeing the route concepts versus cover 2 versus cover 3 versus man-to-man, sticking your foot in the ground, avoiding a rush, doing that in a practice is very, very important for a quarterback's progression. So hopefully we'll get him enough looks to feel kind of comfortable, but you're never going to get the same looks. You're not going to see Fletcher Cox and Jernigan and the rest of the crew, Chris Long and Bennett rushing the passer against you. But we're going to do the best we can to get him comfortable with the plays that we have for him and the reasons why we have these plays in. So I think he will be more comfortable.
Did Sanchez get any work this week at all?
We got a little bit yesterday, or Monday, I should say, and then today he did scout team. It's just hard with the amount of reps that you have at practice and the amount of bodies that are actually practicing to get, your backup quarterback reps. That's why Colts struggled to get reps with the first team. So he will have to just learn on the fly like most backups do. Yeah, thank you.